Hey guys, I'm Chris, your real estate problem solver. Welcome to one of Robins. Oh, you're not coming in, you're leaving. Okay, well, I still got you covered. On this video, we're going to show you everything that you need to know to completely take care of a full PCS for military members. So come on and I'll show you all the ins and outs. So as a real estate agent and an investor in the Middle Georgia area, I've been privy to quite a few PCS moves in and out of the Middle Georgia area. So this video, I just want to go over specifically a household goods move and kind of give you a rundown of the experiences that I've had and the ins and outs of how to make a household goods move go smooth. And also, if you find this content helpful, please do me a favor and like and subscribe and share this video with other people that you know of that are getting ready to PCS. Let's get into it. Now, if you've got your orders in hand, the first thing you need to do is contact the TMO office. I don't care if you've only got 3 weeks away before you're leaving or 6 months away. Go ahead and contact your TMO office, your transportation office, and find out what all you need to do to make sure that your household goods move goes as smooth as possible. Okay, so your shipment will be determined pretty much by the kind of orders that you have. If you're going from here to Wisconsin or someplace in the continental US, then of course you're just going to have a regular household goods move. If you are going overseas, which includes Alaska or Hawaii, then your shipments could have some other options. One would be household goods, one could be an unaccompanied baggage, and one could be a non-temp storage. Now, of course, your orders will tell you whether or not you're eligible for any of these, or which ones you are eligible for. A household goods move will get shipped over in crates, and those crates will get put into containers, and it'll get put on a ship and shipped over. Your unaccompanied baggage is designed to get there a little bit faster and tide you over until the main shipment gets there, in which case it's a smaller shipment, so it'll get put into a crate and it'll get flown over by air. Now, if you are eligible for a non-temp storage is basically a shipment where your stuff is too big or too heavy, or you just don't need it. So they're going to pack it up and they're going to put it in a crate and they're going to leave it at a warehouse here close by until you get back, and then you go by the transportation office and tell them, hey, I'm back, I'm ready to get my stuff, and they'll order a release. So by now you have submitted a move request in DPS and you've been assigned to a moving company to pick up your household goods. So now that you've got your household goods move in the system and you've gotten contact from the moving company saying, hey, we're the ones that won the bid on your move, we're going to be out there to pack and load and get you on your way. Okay, now your job is to get the house ready. Now, the next phone call you need to do is make it to me so we can get your house sold or rented or whatever it is that you decide that you want to do with it. So, other than that, getting the house ready. So let's go through all that. First thing you need to do is make sure that everything is clean and tidy, okay? If you've got any laundry, any dishes, it's all clean and dry, because this stuff is going to be going all into a truck, or if you're going overseas, it's going to go into a container. And moisture and heat causes mold, and you don't want to get a shipment full of mold when you get to your destination. So now you've got everything clean and ready. You've already done the yard sale. Your yard sale, you've sold all the stuff that you don't want to take with you. So now it's coming up on the day of the move. Now your pickup date will be the date that they get you out of here. But they're going to come in a couple days early to start packing up and getting everything ready. So when they show up, first of all, you need to be there, or somebody that you designate needs to be there, and they need to be available the entire day. So do not, if you're selling your house, do not schedule a closing, do not schedule other events going on while the movers are there. Now, with a household goods move and going overseas, or an unaccompanied baggage or non-temp storage, please do not try to schedule them on the same day. All of them need to be on different days, and they need to have some time between them, because if you have, let's say, 15,000 pounds, it's going to take them 2 or 3 days to pack that up. And if you have another company coming in to get your non-temp storage or your unaccompanied baggage, they need to come on a day where your other shipments are not being taken care of, because it'll cause confusion. And if the movers find out that there's another company there, they won't come out, and they'll tell you, they'll deny it. So make sure that all your shipments are on different dates. All right, so before the movers come out, somebody from the moving company should contact you and introduce themselves, and they should find out or come out to the house personally and find out what kind of stuff do you have, how many pictures do you have, how many beds, how many pianos, how much enclosed, weight sets or taxidermy heads or antiques and all that good stuff. And they're going to get a closer idea of how much weight you actually do have. What you put into the system was probably a guesstimate, so they're going to get a closer idea on how much actual weight you really do have. Now, during this survey, whether it's over the phone or in person, if you have anything that's large, like a multi-gym, or if you have a trampoline, or if you have a piano, or if you have a big gun safe, or especially antiques, and I'll get on to antiques in a second. But if you have anything that's large, bulky, big pieces of glass, big pieces of marble, point these items out to the movers and make sure that they understand what the dimensions are and make sure that what the significance is, because they are responsible for moving your stuff. And if it's something that they can't handle themselves, then they're going to have to bring somebody else in, a third-party servicer, to take care of it. If you do have any large items or unusual items like big glass panes or marble tops, some antiques, taxidermy heads, if the moving company or the transportation office does approve to have certain items crated up, make sure that you hold on to that crate, because from what I understand, the government will only pay for it one time. And if you don't have that crate the next time you move, you don't get it crated. You'll have to come up with something else. Now, while you're getting the house ready to take on the movers, make sure that you go through and remove the batteries out of any remotes or any electronic items that take batteries, because they can't take it if it's got batteries in it. They've also added new regulations about lithium batteries, so make sure you talk to your transportation office about that. Also, they cannot ship any aerosols, any hazardous chemicals, anything that's gas powered. They can't take any of that. If it's gas powered, you need to drain it and wipe it down clean and run it dry, because if it's got gas in it, they can't take it. Also, anything that can melt in the heat, like candles or soft plastics, they can't take any of that. So make sure that you go through and separate all that from the stuff that they're going to be packing up. Now, a second ago, I mentioned antiques. Now, this is a good point. If you do have any antiques, okay, go ahead and get those antiques appraised. Reason being is because, number one, you have a certified document from a professional verifying that it is indeed an antique. Also, what they're going to do is they're going to give you a value of what that antique is worth. If anything happens to that antique and you don't have documentation, the moving company is going to treat it as just regular household goods, and they're going to try to settle up with a value that's similar to what it would be as a contemporary item. So if you do have antiques and they're valuable to you, go ahead and get an appraisal of those antique items. Okay, so you got your move started. The moving company's contacted you. You've shown them everything that you've got. They have a real good idea of everything that you have, and they know what is to expect when they come out. And you called me, and we've got your house listed, of course. So next thing is the moving company is going to come out, and they're going to get started. Now, if you don't hear from anybody within about a week or so of the date that they're supposed to show up, go ahead and contact your transportation office and let them know so they can find out what's going on, because you should have heard from them by now. Okay, so assuming that they have contacted you and they said, hey, we're going to be out there at 9 o'clock tomorrow. So you should have everything pulled out and separated. If you have anything that you do not want them to pack up, and that includes the dogs and the kids, because they might get packed up too, and I'm pretty sure you don't want that. Also, especially stuff like documents, money, jewelry, and your passports. because you don't want your passports to get packed up and then you have to pay them to go through all the boxes to find them again. Make sure you have all those items separated. If you can possibly put certain items in a whole separate room, or at least tape them off with some caution tape or whatever, and just make sure that it's obvious that stuff does not go with this moving company. Okay, that makes it a lot easier and reduces a lot of the confusion. Okay, so on your first day of packing up, the movers are going to come in. They're going to bring all the stuff that they need to get your stuff packed up. They're going to start packing up all the boxes for all the little stuff that you have that's going. Okay, make sure your job is to make sure that all the electronics are disconnected, and anything that's on the walls that you want them to pack up, you have it pulled off the walls, because they can't take that stuff down. Okay, once they start packing up stuff, they're supposed to put paper in the bottom of the box in case it gets set on something wet, it doesn't soak up through and ruin whatever's inside that box. Also, make sure that when they are packing up your boxes, they're supposed to have at least your last name and a description of what's in the box. Okay, once they go through and they pack up all the little stuff in all the boxes, then chances are they're probably going to go back through and they're going to start doing an inventory. Now, some companies do inventories on paper, some companies do inventories on a tablet. Okay, the big thing that you want to make sure of is that all the boxes, everything that's in the house, when it leaves the house, it's got an inventory sticker on it, and that inventory sticker pertains to a number on your inventory sheet. Like 17 is the kitchen dishes, 23 is the bed frame, 75 is the pots and pans. Okay, also when they go through and start packing stuff up, they will point out, or they should point out, or they should mark down if excuse me, if any certain items are damaged. If there's a heavy gouge on the dresser, or if there's a broken leg on the kitchen table, okay, they're going to mark that down. So when you sign the inventory sheet, you're agreeing that everything that left the house is on that inventory sheet, and any damage that they annotated on the inventory sheet, you agree with it did actually have that damage on there. So make sure that you go through that and make sure that everything is accurate. Okay, so now they packed up all the little stuff. Probably chances are they're going to be stopping at that point. Okay, all your big stuff, the bed, the dresser, the TV, the big stuff is going to get packed up by whoever the driver is. He'll come out and he'll either have the same group or he'll bring his own people out, and they'll take care of that stuff on the actual day of the move. And again, make sure that everything that leaves the house has got an inventory sticker on it. And also, while they're packing stuff up on the day of the move, anything that they take apart, they're supposed to put it back together. So check with your transportation office and make sure that's still valid at the time that you're watching this. Okay, so now one little side note. If they are packing up and there's weather that's coming in, okay, they are responsible for making sure that your stuff stays clean and dry. So if any of your boxes or materials get wet, make sure that they wipe it off and wipe it clean and dry before they start packing it up into the truck. All right, so now everything is out of the house and it's all packed up, and it kind of looks like this, empty and echoing. So you've got everything out, it's all been packed up, it's in the truck, and they are heading out. So make sure that you talk to the driver if he comes out to pick up your stuff. Sometimes the driver doesn't come out. Sometimes if you've got a small load, the packers may just pack it up in their truck and they'll take it back to the warehouse and they'll load it up on a bigger truck that's going in the same direction as a couple other shipments. But if you get the chance to talk to the driver, coordinate with him and see if he's going to be at your destination around the same time you are. If you can get a direct delivery, great. If not, civilians should be, at the time of this video, are still allowed 60 days of temporary storage at the destination. Once you get out there, you call the transportation provider back and say, hey, I'm here and ready to take delivery, and they'll schedule a time to have your stuff brought out to you. For military, you've got 90 days. So same thing, call them up, say, hey, I'm here, I'm ready to take delivery, and they'll schedule a time to have your stuff brought out to you. Now, once your stuff gets out to your destination and they're delivering it to your house or wherever it is that you're at, Make sure to go through everything as much as you can, and make sure that you mark off all the items that are coming off the truck. 17, the kitchen dishes is here. 27, the bed frame is here. So if anything comes out that does not have a sticker on it, the sticker fell off, set that aside and just hold on to it. Once you get through the entire list, if there's anything in that list that hasn't been marked, try to match those up to the items that didn't have a sticker on it. And that should probably get you through all the items and ensure that you've gotten everything that you're supposed to have. And if anything is not there, that's when you'll find out that you've got something missing, and you can immediately get something done about it. Okay, so that pretty much covers the regular household goods move. So let's say now that you're going overseas. Okay, well, there's not much difference between going overseas and doing a cross-country move. In this case, a household goods move and an unaccompanied baggage move, if you're shipping out both of these, the only real difference is, instead of getting loaded up into the truck, these items are going to get packed up into a crate at your house. Okay, so make sure that they've got crates at the house when they pack you up, and those crates are going to get sealed up and completely ready to ship before they leave your residence. Now, keep in mind, a lot of the regulations and what is acceptable and what's not acceptable is subject to change all the time. But at the time of this video, the overseas shipments get a tamper seal on the crate, and those tamper seals are initialed by the member. So you're going to initial those seals, and they're going to put those seals on the crates before they leave your property. If they say that they're going to take it back to the warehouse and crate it up there, that would be a red flag. Now, this is where I would tell you, anytime that they're doing something that doesn't make sense or isn't what you were told, don't hesitate to get in contact with the transportation office and talk to them and see and verify what's supposed to be going on versus what you actually see going on. Okay, so you're going overseas. They've got your household goods. They've got your unaccompanied baggage. They've boxed all the little stuff. They've wrapped up all the big stuff. They put it in the crates at your house. They have sealed up the crate. The crate doesn't have any holes in it. It's sealed up and it's in good shape and it's ready to go. You've got a copy of your inventory sheet, and they're heading out. So they're going to ship it overseas. Of course, like I said, household goods goes by ship. Unaccompanied baggage goes by air. And whenever it gets over there, now overseas shipments, whether you're civilian or military, like I said at the time of this video, both of them are allowed 90 days of temporary storage. So once you get over there, of course, you can contact your moving company and say, hey, I'm here, I'm ready to take delivery, and they'll schedule a time to have your stuff brought out to you. When they deliver your items, you should be entitled to a one-time placement of everything. And also, if you want them to, they'll unpack the boxes. Of course, they won't put everything in the shelves, but they'll at least unpack them and lay them out if you want them to. Now, like I said, check with your transportation office and make sure this is all correct, because things are subject to change year from year. If you're in the military, you know everything changes. Okay, and last but not least is your non-temp storage. Now, if you are going overseas and you qualify for a non-temp storage, what that's going to entail is they're going to come in and they're going to pack those items up that's for the non-temp storage, just like a regular cross-country move, and they're going to take it back to the warehouse in the local area. Now, once they get it there, then of course they're going to pack it up into a shipping crate, and it's going to go on a shelf until whatever time you come back from being overseas, and you ask the transportation office, hey, I'm back, I'm ready to get my stuff, and could you have it released? If you're planning on shipping or storing a personal vehicle, make sure that you check your orders. Somewhere on those orders, it should tell you that you're authorized to either ship or store your vehicle. If it's not on your orders, then you're not eligible for that entitlement. If you are, then the transportation office will take care of getting you the paperwork for doing that. And also, you're going to need to contact your bank if you have a loan against your vehicle, and make sure the bank gives you a permission slip to send your vehicle overseas, because they've got to lean against that car. They've got a right to know where it's going. Otherwise, then you should contact, at this time, it is PCSmyPOV.com, and you can go in and it'll show you where to drop off your vehicle, and you can contact them and they can go through the checklist of what you need to do to get your vehicle ready to either drop it off for storage or drop it off for shipping. Well, that just about covers all the household goods, unaccompanied baggage, and non-tent storage moves. If you have any other questions or the finer details, of course, are subject to change, so make sure you contact your transportation office and ask them about the finer details about stuff that may have or may not have changed. This doesn't cover every single bit of it, but it does give you the basic overview of what to expect and how to get your house ready. And of course, once you've got your house ready, again, give me a call and we'll take care of that part too. I'm Chris, your real estate problem solver, and I'll talk to you on the next one.